Welcome back, my friends. My name is Howard Riell, and this is Riell Truth. You're listening to the American Freedom Network, streaming live around the world at AmericanNewsNet.com and on Facebook and YouTube and Tumblr and in the book, Riell Truth, Stay Angry. And, of course, as always, broadcasting out across the Colorado Front Range on KHNC, Johnstown, Colorado, 1360 AM, The Lion. Our call-in number remains 877-254-7524. My friends, before you dig into that turkey tomorrow, I got a little bit different kind of a show today. Yesterday, I did an interview with a gentleman by the name of Rabbi Daniel Lapin. Now, if the name is familiar, there's a reason for that. Rabbi Lapin is known widely as America's Rabbi. He's a noted rabbinic scholar, best-selling author, and TV host. As one of America's most eloquent speakers, his ability to extract practical life principles from the Bible and transmit them in a life-changing and captivating manner has brought thousands of Jews and Christians closer to their respective faiths. Pairing his inheritance as a descendant of a multi-generational rabbinical family with his background in science and business, he teaches ancient Jewish wisdom in an unparalleled manner. My friends, I've tried for many, many years, as you know, I'm an old geezer, I've tried for many years to do what little I can do to bring Judaism and Christianity closer together. Not only because we should be natural allies, and we have been, but because we have a common foe in radical Islam. And for that reason, my interest in this topic aligned with Rabbi Lapin. I was fortunate enough to meet him a couple of months ago. I met his son, who's attending medical school. I invited him on my show. He's got such a fiercely busy schedule, he couldn't make time to be with me live on the air, but I was happy to grab him for 10 or 15 minutes, do the interview, record it, and I'm going to play it for you during the first and I think the second segments of the show. When we come back, he is a fascinating individual. He is a scholar of the first rank, and he does, in a larger context, what I try and do here on this show is to show that Jews and Christians are natural allies, natural friends, and that the twin forces that we're facing as we advance through this 21st century, Islam on one side and secularism on the other, are two challenges that we can meet and we can defeat, but we've got to do it together. And that's what I hope this show has been about for, good Lord, over 9 years already, heading towards year number 10. And so relax, kick your shoes off. When we come back, I'll present my interview with Rabbi Daniel Lapin. And then we'll finish up with some news, and then you can jam your head inside the turkey if you like. Go crazy this Thanksgiving. But that's what we're going to be doing today on Riell Truth, my friends. Stick around.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution. American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franktown reminds parents, keep an eye on your child while shopping. Children tend to stray or become lost. Poses an opportunity to be effective. Please make every effort to keep track of your little one at all times. If you have information regarding a lost child, call local authorities at once. This message is from American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franktown. For residential or commercial window tinting, call 303-263-4228. Piccolo's Restaurant and Dental reminds us that over 750,000 children were reported last year. Over 58,000 of these were abducted by non-family members. Keep an eye out for youngsters at play, and if you see anything suspicious, contact the authorities immediately. This message from Piccolo's Restaurant and Dental. It's not only the best in town in America, but it's the people who care. Give them a call at 303-757-5166. 303-757-5166. Piccolo.
All right, my friends, welcome back. Welcome back to Riell Truth. And as I promised, Here is my interview conducted yesterday with Rabbi Lapin. By the way, his website, www.rabbidaniellapin.com. I think you'll find this conversation as fascinating as I did. Here we go.
they also said that its original language is the language of God, it's the Hebrew language, which not only, we acknowledge as the language of God, but even the second government, the Plymouth Colony, where he embraced it in history of the Plymouth Plantation, refers to Hebrew as the fourth language of God, spoken to everybody. So the evidence of those words really mean what different verses mean when taken in conjunction with other verses. Are things that they can get from another. What are the goals of an interfaith dialogue? What do we hope to accomplish by communicating better and more frequently with Christians? Again, I didn't use the term interfaith dialogue because that is the term that was employed by the left in encouraging ecumenical dialogue. So for rabbis and Christian leaders to get together and to work out joint prayer ceremonies, so that's what they were doing in a theological debate. I don't recommend it. I think it's more a waste of time, because no one is going to be converted, no one's going to change. How much we're interested in a personal level, individuals get together, and the purpose is to defeat the forces of secularism that lead to a political creed that's been incredibly disruptive for Jews called socialism.
Yeah, my friends, that socialism, as put forward by Bernie Sanders and as glommed onto by millions of Americans who, let's be honest, don't know very much and don't really want to know very much. Very dangerous. We're going to take a break in a moment. I will come back with part 2 of my conversation with Rabbi Daniel Lapin. Again, you can find him at www.rabbidaniellapin.com. Fascinating individual who has made great strides over the years in bringing together Jews and Christians. So important. We all want to live in the world that the prophet Isaiah envisioned, where we beat our swords into plowshares and we live together as brothers and sisters. It is attainable. It is doable. We just have to make it happen. That's what the rabbi is about, and hopefully that's what I'm about. We'll take a break and we'll come back with more Riell Truth.
Riell Power has been providing a reliable electrical power system in the Rocky Mountain area since 1992. Our systems rely on the sun to help make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be scaled to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interactive systems as well. Custom-tailored capabilities on emergency lighting all the way to commercial scale power. Great Plains Power is a full-service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom design system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. That's 303-239-9963. Or go to GreatPlainsSolar.com.
The Lord leaves the counsel of the nations to nothing. He makes the plans of the people of no effect. The counsel of the Lord stands forever, the plans of his heart to all generations. Worship is the nation, but God is the Lord. The people he has chosen as his own inheritance. Psalm 33, verses 10 through 12.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. This is the America's News Network.
My friends, welcome back to Riell Truth on this day before Thanksgiving. My name is Howard Riell. I am playing a tape of my interview yesterday with Rabbi Daniel Lapin. You know, it's funny. I've been seeing Rabbi Lapin's name in books and magazine articles for over 20 years. And I really admired the work he was doing, serving as kind of a bridge between the Jewish world and the Christian world. And I thought to myself, one day I got to meet this guy. And then a few months ago, he just walked into my shul on a Friday afternoon for Shabbos. I got to hear him speak. I got to know him. Marvelous gentleman. He was gracious enough to take some time out of a very cramped schedule to speak with us. And so here is part 2 of my interview with Rabbi Daniel Lapin. Here we go.
Which is probably influencing the United States. And something that only an alliance of Jews and Christians any chance shows that any chance of defeating. How did the welfare of the state of Israel, which Jews and Christians alike were concerned with, how can that bring Jews and Christians together? Well, of course, it does, in the sense that the bulk of tourism to that Holy Land, to the land of Israel, is Christian. And so it's enormously important. But many of my Christian friends suffer from the same problem that many of my Jewish friends do, which is that their children become radicalized on the American university campus. And so their adult children do not necessarily retain the same feelings of war affections and strong support for Israel as parents do. That's a huge problem. But when you're speaking to a Christian audience, will they respond positively if you say to them, look, one of us, we need to unite against Islam? How do they react to them? Well, I didn't really exactly those words, but I made no secret about my sympathy for Islam. What I have said in public is I pose the question, and frankly, only a human being whom mental spasms masquerades for possibly deny that I say that if a million Muslims became evangelical Christians tomorrow, the world would be a better place, right? You can't say yes to that. You've got real problems now. But is there anything that a Jewish speaker such as yourself will say to a Christian audience that will offend them? Oh, I haven't pushed the envelope, but I'm sure they are. I never touched anything so because I don't discuss theology at all. I couldn't be less interested in theology. I'm more interested in neurosurgery than I am in theology. Theology is what people think about God. It leaves me utterly bored. likely they are to enough Christians, more likely they are to, I don't say enough Christianity, but enough Christians, and the more likely they are to support the politics. And remember, politics is, of course, nothing more than the practical application of our most deeply held values. And so, I don't dismiss politics. I think it's crucially important, and ignoring it is at one's own peril when your interests become threatened. So, Christians should be aware that Jewish values are the same values that the founding fathers adopted when they came to this country, and they saw themselves as building a land, a New Jerusalem, a shining city on a hill. All of these are particular ideas that they saw and they tried to implement here. And those are the Jewish values. The great 19th century Irish historian William Mackey wrote that the stones of a great civilization are held together with heat and water. And it's absolutely true. We have to stand shoulder to shoulder. The forces that empower us are secularism and Islam. All right, well, thank you very much, sir, for giving me time for time. I very much appreciate it. It's a pleasure. I appreciate what you do, all the diligence and dedication you have. We obviously share a passion for all of the importance of this work. And I'm proud to stand together with you on this hour without we talk again soon. Indeed, I hope so too. Thanks again. You will, you bet.
And my friends, that was Rabbi Daniel Lapin, fascinating individual. He knows what I know, that the best way to head into the future is for Jews and Christians to be united with what have come to be known as Judeo-Christian values, which stand in stark opposition to the kind of abortion on demand, anything goes, no such thing as right and wrong secularism that we're seeing, on the one hand, and the unceasing war against humanity being waged for 14 centuries by Islam in the other. I hope one day to have Rabbi Lapin live on the show so he can take your calls. But in the meantime, once again, my thanks to him very much. Let's do some news before the next commercial break. Item from the Information Liberation website. Teen Vogue columnist Emily Linden, the founder of the Unslut Project, said Tuesday that she's, quote, not at all concerned about explicitly innocent men losing their jobs over false sexual assault, so long as it helps in, quote, undoing the patriarchy. Here's an unpopular opinion, Linden said on Twitter. I'm actually not at all concerned about innocent men losing their jobs over false sexual assault / harassment allegations. Sorry. If some innocent men's reputations have to take a hit in the process of undoing the patriarchy, that is a price I am absolutely willing to pay, unquote. My friends, I'm sure it's as obvious to you as it is to me that Emily Linden is a knucklehead. If innocent people have their lives damaged, even ruined, well, that's okay with her because it's what she wants. That kind of selfish arrogance is at the very core of secular liberalism. Doesn't matter what you want, doesn't matter what you say, doesn't matter what you do. All that matters is what I, the liberal, want. And it's poisonous. Item from the Daily Express. Angela Merkel's long reign at the top of German politics is very nearly at an end, according to a senior member of the country's Green Party. Hans Christian Strobel, who helped co-found the party that would become the Greens in the 1980s, said he could not envisage the chancellor staying in her role for much longer. Despite her best attempts to secure a fourth term as chancellor, Mrs. Merkel's Christian Democratic Union Party suffered heavy losses in September's elections, and she's failed to cobble together a so-called Jamaica alliance with the Greens and the Free Democrats. Unquote. My friends, why doesn't Germany like Angela Merkel anymore? Because Angela Merkel was single-minded in throwing open the borders of Germany to all kinds of Muslim infiltrators from the Middle East. They call them immigrants. They call them refugees. They're not. They are covert soldiers in the war by Islam against the West. Now Germany has too many Muslims to get rid of them, Too many to control them. Germany is going to be extinct before too long, which, trust me, causes me no sleepless nights. I just want to make sure that we in America are smarter than the liberal fools in Germany who have fallen forward on their own swords. Item from the Economic Collapse blog. Once upon a time in the United States, we had the largest and most vibrant middle class in the history of the world. But now the middle class is steadily being eroded. The middle class became a minority of the population for the first time ever in 2015. And just recently I wrote about a new survey that showed that 78% of all full-time workers in the United States live paycheck to paycheck at least part of the time. But most people still want to live the American dream, and so they're going into tremendous amounts of debt in a desperate attempt to live that kind of lifestyle. According to the Federal Reserve, the average U.S. household is now $137,063 in debt. That figure is more than double the median household income. Yet the U.S. Census Bureau reports that the median household income was only $59,039 last year, suggesting that many Americans are living beyond their means. As a nation, we're completely and utterly drowning in debt. U.S. consumers are now nearly $13 trillion in debt overall, and many will literally spend the rest of their lives making debt payments. Over the past couple of decades, the cost of living has grown much faster than paychecks have, and this has put a tremendous amount of financial stress on hardworking families. We're told that we are in a low inflation environment, but that's simply not true at all. Unquote. My friends, here's what is true. As happens in so many cases, the real problem is us. Because we don't act like grown-ups. We spend stupidly. We spend foolishly. You know the old joke, how can I be out of money when I've still got checks left? We are responsible. We complain about the idiots in the Senate and the House of Representatives, but who sent them there and who continues to send politicians who don't care about us and who aren't interested in solving problems, sending them back to Washington, D.C. year after year after decade to do basically nothing? So are they at fault? Yeah. Are we at fault even more? Yes. Item. Also from the Economic Collapse blog. If someone secretly installed software on your computer that recorded every single keystroke that you made, would you be alarmed? Of course you would. And that's essentially what's taking place on more than 400 of the most popular websites on the entire internet. For a long time, we've known that nothing that we do in the internet is private, but this new revelation is deeply, deeply disturbing. In my novel, entitled The Beginning of the End, says Michael Snyder, I attempted to portray the Big Brother surveillance grid, which is constantly evolving all around us, but even I didn't know that things were quite this bad. According to an article just published by Ars Technica, when you visit the websites that have installed this secret surveillance code, it is like someday is literally looking over your shoulder. If you have the uncomfortable sense someone's looking over your shoulder as you surf the web, you're not being paranoid. A new study finds that hundreds of sites, including Microsoft.com, Adobe.com, and GoDaddy.com, employ scripts that record visitors' keystrokes, mouse movements, and scrolling behavior in real time, even before the input is submitted or is later deleted. Go back and read that again. Do you understand what it means? Even if you ultimately decide not to post something, these websites already know what you were typing, where you clicked, and how you were moving your mouse. Essentially, it's like someone is literally sitting behind you and watching every single thing that you do on that website. My friends, we're about to go to a commercial break. Listen to me. I have banged the drum for more than 9 years here on this show, saying that our rights, and especially our privacy, are being eroded. This is only the latest evidence of it, and it's up to you and me to do something about it. We'll take a break. We'll be back.
1, 2, 5, or 4 supplements. Please stop. Simplify your supplementation with Bio Superfood, the most advanced nutritional whole food supplement you can buy. Women, children, even Olympic athletes the world over have discovered Bio Superfood from BioAge.com, and now take just one nutritional supplement instead of the Bio Superfood formulas are whole food products composed with 4 of the with focus, memory, and food. If you can increase brain health, the rest of the body is a no-brainer. Bio Superfood has zero toxicity and is safe for you and your family. Learn more and order your Bio Superfood formula at bioage.com. Spelled BIOAGE.com. bioage.com. Or call 877-288-9116. That's 877-288-9116. BioAge is intimate organic. Great Plains Power has been providing reliable electrical power systems in the Rocky Mountain area since 1992. Our systems rely on the sun to help make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be scaled to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interactive systems as well. Tailored capabilities, modest and emergency lighting, all the way to commercial scale power. Great Plains Power is a full service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom design system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. That's 303-239-9963. Or go to GreatPlainsSolar.com. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John bore witness of him and cried out, saying, This was he of whom I said, He who comes after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 14 and 15. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
All right, my friends, welcome back to Riell Truth. Tucker Carlson was off last night. Mark Stein, I've mentioned him on the show before, was sitting in for him. Another fascinating discussion about, well, I'll let you listen. Here's Mark Stein from Fox News last night. Go, Mark. My friends, let me interrupt with a little observation. Where are all these harassment allegations centered? They're in New York, they're in California, they're in Washington, D.C. Does that ring a bell? All those places were virulently against Donald Trump. They're all blue. They're all Democrat states. It's all the people who say terrible things about Donald Trump specifically and conservatives in general. All those people who are always wagging their fingers in our faces and saying, if only you were as good a person as I am, those are the people who've been doing unconscionable things to women. Just a small observation. Go ahead, Mark. Yeah, let me help you with that one, young lady. Here's the pattern. The Democrats, the liberals, scream that there's a Republican war on women. Meanwhile, the Democrats have their fingers between the butt cheeks of whichever woman happens to be standing closest to them. Or they're exposing themselves. Or they're threatening women's jobs. You thought those are the defenders of women. Do you get it? This is the liberal logic. Those are the defenders of women. The Charlie Roses and the Al Frankens and the Weinsteins. They're on women's side. What they mean is they're trying to get inside of women. You don't see this stuff coming from conservatives. You just don't. Because it's not how we live, not how we think, and not how we act. Let's go back to Mark Stein.
Well, look, I feel a little bit like we flipped on the line. We're watching the...
My friends, where have you heard that metaphor before? Where have you heard that exact same metaphor? What's that you say? You've heard it here on Riell Truth? Absolutely true.
Miserable is the sins and the...
Yeah, that's really not true, babe. That's really not true. This is a liberal issue because liberals consider themselves above the average man, beyond reproach, righteous to the nth degree, and so they can do whatever they feel like doing because I just mentioned they're liberals. Yeah, it's even-handed to say it's on both sides of the aisle, but the horrifying truth is it's not really.
Honest about that.
You mean whether liberal women politicians had gotten down off their high horse and instead of only campaigning as a champion for women, if they actually had been champions for women. But my friends, It's so much easier to make a claim than to back up that claim. So much easier for a Dianne Feinstein to say, vote for me, I'm a woman, than to make it count that she's a woman. For that, you really got to work. And the fat cat elitist politicians who get reelected, the last thing they want to do is work. They want to enjoy the perks of power. And that's your Democrat Party today. We'll take a break and we'll come back. More Real Truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Phillips, founder of the Green Earth.
Well, it had to happen. But Colorado legalized marijuana. Most people thought the Green Herb was a marijuana dispensary. Also, it was legalized on January the 1st, 2014. The same day we opened our new location at 4565 Kipling Street, 1.5 blocks south of I-7. There are 83,000 cars a day passing in front of our new location on Kipling Street, and most of them thought we were a marijuana dispensary. So we changed the name of our retail store to New Genesis Health, but we kept the name of our Green Herb supplements. So when you come to our new location, look for our new name, New Genesis Health, or call us at 888-765-HERB. That's 888-765-4372. And be sure to listen to the Healthy Nature Show with Linda Phillips every Tuesday at 1 p.m.
Now this is the testimony of John when the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, "Who are you?" He confessed and did not deny, but confessed, "I am not the Messiah." And they asked him, "What then? Are you Elijah?" He said, "I am not." "Are you the prophet?" And he answered, "No." The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 19 through 21.
The associates at your 24-hour Walmart Supercenter will not be able to find. No one anywhere is more noble, righteous, ethical, and courageous than our United States Armed Forces. These brave men and women and their families foot the bill for our freedom every day. Send a military care package today to let them know that they are in our hearts and our prayers and our thoughts. This message is from the associates at your 24-hour Walmart Supercenter on Highway 287 in Lafayette. They're on the air because they care.
My friends, welcome back. Speaking of liberal Democrat female politician sleazebags like Dianne Feinstein, anybody remember Hillary Clinton? Well, here's Dick Morris, who worked with the Clintons for several years, knows them intimately, talking about the Russian bribery scandal and what really might be going on. Here's Dick Morris.
The Iranian ones.
Now, my friends, I've talked to you about Shepard Smith before. He is a piss-poor journalist. He's got something wedged up his backside when it comes to Donald Trump. He's very far from a conservative, and he tells things in the news show that are not true. And this is a perfect example, and it's why Fox should get the hell rid of Shepard Smith.
Whether they do the Trump or not.
And if it involves treason, my friends, I hope you remember what the penalty for treason, at least at one time, was. Hanged by the neck until dead. Item from CBS, DallasFortWorth.com, Dateline, Garland, Texas. Black Friday's fast approaching, but one DFW man has already been camped out in line to get a holiday deal. Efren Garcia has been the first person in line outside of the Best Buy store in Garland since Saturday. He's hoping to save $300 on a 50-inch television. Unquote. My friends, would you sit on the sidewalk, camped out 24 hours a day, for an entire week to save $300 so that you could buy a television set? Something tells me Mr. Garcia's personal television set doesn't get all the channels. We'll be right back.
Please stop. Simplify your supplementation with Bio Superfood, the most advanced nutritional whole food supplement you can buy. Even Olympic athletes the world over have discovered Bio Superfood from BioH.com, and now it's just one nutritional supplement instead of many. The Bio Superfood formulas are whole food products developed with more of the most nutrient-dense algae found on Earth. Bio Superfood for the brain helps with focus, memory, clarity, and food. If you can increase brain health, the rest of the body is a no-brainer. Bio Superfood has zero toxicity and is safe for you and your family. Learn more and order your Bio Superfood formulas at BioH.com. Spelled BIOGE.com. BioH.com. Or call 877-288-9116. Bio. The age of the and of his fullness we have all received, and grace for grace. For the law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came through Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. No one has seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, who is in the bosom of the Father, he has declared him. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 16. Elizabeth Locker and Elizabeth reminds us that the drug problem is well documented. We know our kids will be appropriate at age. We want to applaud the youngsters in our community who have had the strength to take note. They provide examples to their peers and families to be the best they can be. From Elizabeth Locker plant located at 366 Grand Street in Norwood, serving our area since 1943 and specializing in naturalized THC and pork and complete testing process. Call 303-678-2240. That's 303-678-2240.
My friends, we've got 4 minutes left. Remember, we will not be on the air tomorrow. I'll be back on Monday after you've digested at least some of your turkey and stuffing. Item from Agence France Presse, Dateline, D.C. New claims for U.S. jobless benefits fell in mid-November, confirming the strength of American labor markets and continuing a record streak of low levels, official data showed on Wednesday. That's today. The results suggest that November could see continued strong job creation as employment recovers from hurricane-related disruptions at the end of the summer. Unquote. All together now. Thank you, President Trump. Item from the DailyWire.com. According to a new poll from the local Minnesota ABC affiliate, KSTP, only around 22% of Senator Franken's constituents believe he should remain in office now that he's the subject of sexual harassment allegations. A full third of respondents say the Minnesota senator should resign. Unquote. My friends, he should resign. He is a complete wreck. He's a piece of garbage. And by the way, he's also been a lousy senator. Item from Breitbart. In the wake of new allegations of sexual assault against former President Bill Clinton, an overlooked passage from a bombshell 2016 book is now in the spotlight, in which it's claimed Clinton put the hand of a Secret Service agent on Hillary's rear. Crisis of Character by former presidential Secret Service officer Gary Byrne documents a series of sensational events in the Clinton White House, including fights between the first couple and alleged previously unreported flings by Bill. On Monday, author and journalist Ed Klein claimed that there are 4 women prepared to go public with allegations of sexual assault against the former president over conduct he allegedly engaged in since leaving office. With Clinton's deeds in the spotlight, a passage in the 2016 bombshell book in which Bill is accused of putting Byrne's hand on Hillary's rear now appears relevant. Unquote. So, my friends, which would be preferable? Having your hand put on Hillary Clinton's backside or having it stuck in fire? Well, it wouldn't feel very good if your hand were put in fire, but at least you wouldn't have that mental image in your mind for the rest of your life. Item from the Rutherford Institute, Dateline, D.C. Warning against the continuing encroachment of law enforcement on the security and privacy of the homes of citizens, the Rutherford Institute has asked the U.S. Supreme Court to prohibit police from entering private residential property and approaching a home uninvited and without a warrant in order to search a vehicle parked a few feet from the house. In filing an amicus brief in Collins versus Commonwealth, Rutherford Institute attorneys argued that the automobile exception to the Fourth Amendment, which allows police to search for contraband goods, quote, concealed and illegally transported in an automobile or another vehicle, unquote, should not be extended to cases where the vehicle is within the constitutionally protected areas of a home. In weighing in on the case, Rutherford Institute attorneys argue against such a dangerous expansion of the automobile exception, which would effectively sanction law enforcement to cross constitutionally protected thresholds without a warrant, and simply cite the automobile exemption as justification for their conduct. Unquote. My friends, we are losing our privacy little by little by little, but it's been going on for so many years. We've lost almost all of our privacy. It's time for us to stand up. You know what? Support the Rutherford Institute in their efforts in Collins versus Commonwealth. Support them because they're an organization that does great work, and we have had our freedoms eroded and ignored long enough. That said, I want to wish you a happy and a healthy Thanksgiving, my friends. Enjoy yourselves. I will be back on Monday with more Riell Truth. In the meantime, stay hungry. Hasta luego.